black Americans are the real natives of the United States and also South America. And the red natives, they don't want to talk about it. I have seen radio silence from the red Siberian natives. You want to know why? Because the Muskogee tribe, after they lost in court to the black Muskogee, when they tried to kick out the black Muskogee, they had to admit there were black natives. Even the Cherokee are saying it, and now the Choctaw are saying it. Wait a minute, you told me there were no black natives. You said I was a pretendian. I was a long-lost African. That's what you told me. You said this shit. I heard this shit. I responded to this shit. I've had video sticks with that same bullshit message. And now all of a sudden we see that, even over in England, even over in freaking Europe, all the people over there were black. That was a perplexing discovery just made as of last month, and nobody wants to talk about it. Why? Motherfucker, why? Why don't you want to talk about the study that was done by the University of California at Riverside in conjunction with the University of Oregon with professors like Ed Booth, who discovered that, there were black people in South America. Even the Mayan language is really kind of African. Even your gods and goddesses are kind of African. You go over to Brazil, samba, go listen to samba and go listen to freaking African music. It sounds almost virtually identical. Even you go over to Mexico with the freaking merengue drums. Come on now. Pinto beans are not Mexican. Okay? Even your so-called Spanish rice is just jollof with freaking tomatoes in it. That's all it is. Yes, we've been here. We've been here for a long time. You go look up a picture of the Mission Indians of California and you tell me that's not a black tribe. Them black folks, we've been here for the longest time and it makes the most sense. What the hell do you think out of Africa means? Yes, everybody, if you trace your lineage, it goes back to Africa. That don't make you African. You don't go over to fucking Jamaica and be like, well, you know what? Hello, my fellow African. They be like, Bumba and snap the fuck out of you, and you would goddamn deserve it. No. We had our own ethnogenesis right here. Right here. There's a reason why the freaking Australian indigenous people look so black. There's a reason why so many people in freaking India look black. There's a reason why you've always found black people in freaking Egypt, South America, North America. Even Europe, as you're seeing, with all these white people, they all started off as Negroes, and yet for some reason the red natives here thought they were the fucking exception. No, you only started this bullshit in the late 70s, in the early 80s, because you got those first casinos, and you want to cut us out of all that goddamn money like the bastards you are. That's the truth. We are the real fucking natives, and you already said it.
We are a nation of immigrants. This country was not built by immigrants. This country was built by settlers.
They did not build something from nothing. They butchered everything that was already here, and then called it progress. These settlers are genocidal thieves who could not do anything without enslaving another race. Only reason you're even defending settlers so hard right now is because you know your entire existence is inherited theft. This country was not built by settlers. Was bled into existence by people your ancestors enslaved. Y'all did not do anything but enslave. You were born on third base with blood already on your cleat.
It's surprisingly unclear to a lot of people. Immigration law is and always has been about making sure America has enough white folks. A lot of Eastern Europeans who came here in the 90s came over on diversity visas and genius visas. They called them diversity visas, but these were the countries that qualified. Maybe it's me, but ecru and eggshell seem to be the same color. And since I know there's always that one person who does not believe me, I will prove it to you. Tell me when your family came over here, and I will tell you how they got here. I will tell you the benefits they received for being white when they got here. I'm serious. If one person brings me an example of a white person who didn't benefit from whiteness, I will issue a public apology.
Crossing borders is only heroic when white people do it. I hate to break it to you, Settler Dan, but your ancestors, and mine too, were the original illegal aliens. What do you call white people who cross the ocean, show up uninvited to land already inhabited by indigenous people who have lived there for thousands of years, and then destroy their cultures, their languages, their religion, and impose your own? Settlers, or rather, colonizers. And then what do you call people of color who cross the border, work jobs that nobody else wants to work, pay taxes, try to build a life in the so-called land of opportunity? Illegals. Illegal aliens. Criminals. If you're white, it's exploration. You're a pioneer. You're a settler. And if you're not, you're an invader. And for the record, it wasn't the colonizers that built the United States.
98% of all the black people in America were here before 98% of all the other people ever arrived. The first human beings came out of Africa. Anybody on earth that comes to America is an African American. You can be white and come from Europe tomorrow. You're an African American.
That makes total sense.
That's a very, very broad term. They don't know African anything. If you say you're an African American, white say, shoot, I don't know. We never enslaved in Africa. We enslaved some blacks. We got it.
It's about tribal warfare. Okay. That's where we're at in the U.S. I don't know where you're at in the UK. You're from India, so I don't really.
I'm not from India.
Oh, sorry, your parents are from India, so
I'm an American
you have
citizen.
your own stakes.
I'm an American, you know.
You're an American citizen?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. I don't know how you got that, but fair enough. Here's the thing.
Are you an American citizen?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But here's the thing.
Not sure how you got that, but okay.
Born here.
Okay.
Born here, and my family lineage is settlers from the 1500s, so I have some stake in the claim here, okay?
But you're
a little different.
But you're
than
a
yours.
descendant of immigrants. Settlers.
I didn't know.
Colonialists.
Yeah,
You
colonials.
don't look very Native American to me.
I am Native American. Whites are Native Americans. What are you talking about?
You're not.
What are you talking about? Whites are Native Americans.
Really?
I think
what was happening before the 1500s?
I think you're getting confused with it.
I don't mind going off on a tangent, but what was happening before the 1500s?
Calm down. I think you're getting.
What was happening before the 1500s?
There was indigenous people here that came here from Asia.
Do you know what indigenous means?
Listen, before
indigenous people can't come from somewhere else.
Why do you ask a question if you're going to interrupt?
I'm not sure if you know what the meaning of indigenous means.
I do know what it means. It means
sound
they
like
came here first, right? They came here from Asia by way of land bridge. Have an argument with Neil deGrasse Tyson or anybody else about that. I don't care.
Is he an American?
I genuinely don't care. Yes, he is.
Okay, just checking.
My point is, okay?
Nothing to do with crime. So far, you've agreed with me that these people are
Because you're
criminals.
derailing, dude. I'm trying to stay on track.
You literally sat down and asked me where I'm from. I think you derailed this conversation from the get-go.
I think you got offended by that, but I'm
not offended. I'm just wondering what it has to do with crime.
I'm always curious.
We're going to talk about immigration. Don't worry. Later on, you can come back.
I hope so.
Right now, you're doing a very bad job of making the case that he's not pro-crime.
I just got a round of applause. I could probably get another one actually if I asked for it.
Wow.
So I don't think I'm doing
this. Is this how
as
you
bad.
get rounds of applause? You sit in a room with 20 people who agree with you. Wow, amazing.
Europeans.
A lot of people don't know that America tends to cover up the history of its Afro-Native Americans. Okay, so the Native American depiction that they mainly show in the mainstream is often a straight-haired, lighter complected, almost Euro representing person. However, the kinky-haired black beings, we're also Native Americans. I am Native American in the flesh. So make sure you guys are tapping into your history, know where you really come from, know what land you originate from. You know, Aseo.
Columbus didn't discover America. You can't discover a place where people are already living. But we celebrate that every October. It's a lie. We need to get over it. We need to stop telling the myths and start telling the truth. If we start teaching the truth about history, if we start teaching about Nile Valley contributions to civilization, it will totally change the way we conduct ourselves in the classroom. It will have to.
White people are now raging, are now super furious after realizing that black Americans are Native Americans. White people, let me repeat again. White Americans are getting super furious. They are raging after finding out that black people are Native Americans. How am I thinking this? Or why am I thinking this? White people have always thought that being in America, that America has been found by white people. America has been built by white people. America has been made what it is by the white people. They feel like black people have always been an immigrants. They have always been the slaves. They don't have a place in America. So, them learning the truth that black people are the American natives. They are Native Americans. They are so furious. I have clips here. I need to put the clips, then I'll come back with no commentary. Meanwhile, I thought the video, can you subscribe here, tell in the comments, how do you feel about the video? How do you think about the video? do you think that black people are the Native Americans? Clips here. I'll come back with my commentary.
Come to this continent, literally ethnically cleanse the indigenous population out of existence, kill them on a scale that has hardly been equaled, and refer to them as savages. That's an achievement. Who's the savage? The first time I encountered this was in a little town in Massachusetts called Deerfield. It's a reconstruction of what that little town looked like in colonial America. And in front of each house is a plaque that explains something about this house. And then description. On the 18th of October of 1702, the savages attacked. The first time I saw this, the savages. You come in here, destroy everything these people have, and they are the savages. That's an interesting move.
It is.
You know?
I hadn't thought of that before.
Check out this video, then I'm going to explain to you how settler colonialism works.
Are you an American citizen?
Absolutely. Born here.
Okay.
Born here, and my family lineage is settlers from the 1500s, so I have some stake in the claim here, okay?
But you're
a little different.
But you're
than
a
yours.
descendant of immigrants. Settlers.
I didn't know.
Colonialists.
Yeah,
You don't
colonials.
look very Native American to me.
I am Native American. Whites
not.
are Native Americans. What are you
Sorry,
talking about?
you're not.
What are you talking about?
You're
Whites
not.
are Native Americans.
Really?
This idea that white folks are Native Americans now is not simply ignorance. It's the logic of settler colonialism. Settlers invade, they steal the land, and they replace the indigenous population. Settler colonialism isn't simply about conquest and stealing the land, though. It's a structure of replacement. The first step, invasion, conquest, genocide of indigenous peoples. Step 2, reset the timeline. Pretend history only begins when settlers arrive in 1492. That means downplaying all the achievements, all the accomplishments of indigenous peoples. You stereotype and label us as uncivilized savages. Step 3, the colonizers now rebrand themselves as natives. And a lot of white folks have brainwashed themselves into believing the big lie, that they settled an empty and uncivilized land and built America from nothing. It's the myth of Western superiority and American exceptionalism. And it's not just about stealing land and resources, it's also about stealing the identity, what it means to be a real American. And this is nothing new. Settlers or nativists have been calling themselves Native Americans for nearly 200 years now. And that's the trick. You destroy indigenous sovereignty, and then you get to redefine who's truly American, who's native. It's white nationalism. It centers whiteness as the rightful owners of Turtle Island. The end goal is always to invert reality. The settler, the colonizer becomes indigenous, and land theft and genocide becomes heritage. But here's what the logic of settler colonialism tries to hide. Indigenous nations are still here. All the settler colonial policies meant to destroy and erase indigenous nations have failed. Native peoples are revitalizing their languages, protecting their sacred sites, defending their treaty rights, practicing their culture just like they've done since time immemorial. And let's have a little bit of clarity. White folks can be from America, be born here in America, but you will never be indigenous to this land. And let me end with this. Indigenous peoples are still here, and we're not going anywhere.
I am Native American. Whites are Native Americans. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
So I posted my white people are not Native American video a while ago, but I'm still getting comments to this day saying that if a white person was born here, they are Native American. And I just want to remind you that that is not what the man in the Jubilee video was talking about. He was saying that white people are Native Americans. Like, they are from here. We have a claim to this land. And that's not true. And I need you to think about it in terms of like an invasive species. Asian lady beetles are not from here. They kill native plants. They kill off, native bugs even too, because they're fighting for resources. Those beetles did not originate from here, and they're harming the ecosystem, which is why they're bad. Ladybugs are from here. So if something did not originate from here, and I can't believe I'm having this conversation, but it's not from here. There's a difference between ethnicity and nationality. Ethnicity, white people are not.
Immigrants overall are good for America.
Do you care more about helping Americans or immigrants in this claim?
Immigrants are Americans. I'm an immigrant and an American.
Well, immigrants are not Americans. Americans are the people that were born here.
That's not true.
I always think it's funny when individuals come to argue that have weak arguments like that. And it shows either you didn't learn something that you were supposed to about history in middle school or high school, or you didn't learn it if you went to college. And that is that every person who's from the 13 colonies is an immigrant. How and why, you ask? Here's why. Because all of the people that came to establish the 13 colonies came from overseas. They came from Europe, sailed across the ocean, landed, and said, let's settle here, immigrants. When they built homes, that made them settlers. But they didn't stop being immigrants. So all of you that are white, you're immigrants. And it's not just people who are white. There are people who are immigrants that came from other parts of the world. It's called immigration. But Republican leadership wants to lie and falsely say, we're more American than anyone that was here before us. You're stupid. Because being American is what this is. It's the Americas. And it was that before you landed. So that's called hate. That's called racism, ethnocentrism, etc. There's a long list of all kinds of words, and that's great. And we're just trying to keep this broad and easy, everybody. So before the immigrants from Europe came and established the 13 colonies, for over 30,000 years, there had been millions of people already here. For instance, look at me, Latino. That means that I have a bloodline of over 30,000 years of people before the Europeans came. So let's continue on to another thought, and that is that Republican leadership and white-only society, meaning white-only communities, are after a white-only society. You have organizations such as the KKK. You have individuals that cover their face and go around with a flag that's a Confederate flag or has the German Hitler symbol on it, and say whites only. And they're all over the United States. So that is a narrow view of history. That's why you see this, that in our public education system, the Republican leadership trying so hard to push who Americans are. My message right now to all of everyone in the United States of America and all of the Americas, that if you were already here, you're more American than anyone white that came from across the ocean, that they are immigrants. They are the true immigrants.
When we talk about slavery in America, we focus on Europeans that brought enslaved Africans here. But what about Native Americans? What were they doing while this was going on? The answer is complicated. Let's talk about it. Before European settlers started enslaving Africans, they tried to enslave Native Americans first, but it didn't work out the way they planned. Native Americans knew the land way too well, so obviously they escaped all the time. They had strong community ties. Other tribes would hide and protect them, and they fought back hard. So colonizers turned to the transatlantic slave trade instead. But here's where it gets interesting. Some native tribes, they actually helped enslaved Black people escape. The Seminoles in Florida, they took in runaway slaves and lived together as allies. The Underground Railroad didn't just go north. Some runaways escaped west to native lands. There were even Black native communities, like the Black Seminoles who fought against slavery together. White settlers hated this, of course. They launched wars just to break up these alliances. But here's the part they don't like to talk about. Some native tribes, especially in the Southeast, owned enslaved Black people. The Cherokee, Choctaw, Creek, and even some of the Seminoles had plantations with enslaved Africans. They passed laws keeping Black folks enslaved, just like the white settlers did. But after the Civil War, some of those tribes, they still refused to free Black people until they were actually forced by the U.S. government. Why? Because they saw the U.S. rewarded white slave owners. They got power, they got land, and some thought mimicking them would help them survive. Native Americans weren't just bystanders during slavery. Some were oppressed right along with Black people. Some were allies in the fight for freedom. And yeah, some actually participated in slavery. History is messy. People make choices based on survival. But the truth? Black and Native struggles are deeply connected. And understanding those connections helps us fight the same systems today. They don't teach you this in school for a reason. But now you know.
Welcome back. History says that black people they came from Africa. We believe so and we think so. The FBS are the founder of America. And everybody knows that. But it happens that white people, they feel like they are the one who found America. They are the one who built America. They are the one who made America. Today, the way you say America, how beautiful it is, they believe that they are the one who found out America. You see? But in my own research, in my own findings, I have found out that black people are Native Americans. We see the way Africa are the indigenous Africans. They have been born here. They have no other place than here. Well, black Americans are indigenous Africans, yes, but also they are the Native Americans. Why? Black people are the first human race, are the first people to be in America. Black people are the first human to be in America, to build America, to make America the way people are now out there feeling happy about being in America, feeling so good about being in America. So I've found out that whenever a white person come across a video talking about black people being Native American, I feel like they are getting mad, they are getting angry, they are becoming so furious about this whole thing, and I feel like they don't want to see that black person is as the founder of America, or they have been born in America. They are the first human race to be in America. They want to be the only race to be found in America. They want to be the only people to be in America. So they don't want to get to the news that black people are the Native American. They are the one who built America. So tell me in the comments. Tell me thoughts in the comments. Is it okay if we say that black people are the Native Americans? And why does this whole thing hurts white people so much? Why do they feel so bad about finding out that black people are Native Americans? They are the first human race to be in America. One thing is clear. A black person can produce a white person, but a white person can't produce a black person. Fair tells. All right? So white people should get this into their skull that black Americans are the Native Americans. They are not slaves. They are not the immigrants. They are the founders of America. Yeah, they are the founder of America. And this should sink in their skull that black people are Native Americans. Because we all know that black people are the first human race to land in America, to build America, to make America the way it is today. Whites have come, have found American has been growing. Everything has been made, invented by the black people. People even forget about them, and people still live the life. They don't think about who built this, who made this country a story that everybody out there is feeling like they should be in America. They feel like should ignore everything about who built America, who made America great. Tell me in the comments, do you feel like black people are still the Native American? And why does white people get so angry when they find out that black people are Native Americans? Peace out, and I love you.